And we're going live.
So many prompts to get through this whole thing.
I know.
All right. So you want me to start, Lee? You ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So first of all, I want to thank Holly for joining us today. So it's so funny because I knew who she was because of another system that we use, but I had never met her. And we were at EXP Shareholders, and I kept seeing people walking around with these adorable iridescent bags like this. And it says, I know it's hard to see, but it says Shareholder Summit EXP. I was like, oh my gosh, these must be for like the icon agents or something. These are some fancy, cool bags. I have to find where I can get it. I went up to the counter where they were selling all like the swag and everything. They weren't there. I'm like, who in the world, where are they getting these bags? So we finally saw somebody carrying one, and I walked up and I was like, where did you get this bag? And she turned around and it was Holly, and she was like, oh, I made them. I'm giving them away. And I was so blown away because of the marketing. So she was giving these away as like marketing for herself and for her daughter. So one, she had it branded. I know it's hard to tell, but they're so cute, iridescent bags. Donovan and I were on a mission to find these bags. And as the week went on, they were everywhere. So I talked to her a little bit about this, and I mean, it's a brilliant idea. She also, I don't have it anymore. It's like, I can't find it, but she had her business card instead of just like a boring old business card. Yes, she printed $100 bills, fake $100 bills with all of her information on it, and was giving that out to everybody too. So I'm like, okay, she is taking her networking at these events and marketing to another level, one that I've not even ever thought about. Like, I've been to events, sorry, I'm like running over my cord here trying to fix it. I've been to events where somebody's given out like their business card on a highlighter or on like a little mini level. And like, that's cute. But like this is really smart. So Lee, she showed one already when you had already gotten up, but glad you still have it. But I wanted to have her come on and talk because this did not cost her an arm and a leg. And this is brilliant marketing. And I want to just talk to you a little bit about what this kind of marketing at an event like this got you, how much it cost, what you anticipate, kind of what your thought was. And let's talk about some other ideas, some clever ideas that we could, bring into our own business. So for one, welcome, Holly. Thank you so much for joining us. That was a very long-winded experience or whatever. I don't know, whatever. Anyways, thank you so much for joining us. Tell us a little bit about your thoughts behind, well, maybe tell us about yourself, and then tell us a little bit about your thoughts behind this, what other things you've done. We kind of just run with it today.
Okay, sounds good. I am Holly Jeffery, obviously live in Fayetteville, Georgia, just about 20 minutes south of the Atlanta airport. So we service the whole Southern Crescent in greater metro Atlanta. My daughter Eden is my partner in crime. She is just recently licensed, and I'm having a blast being able to go to events and co-market with her, because it sure makes it a whole lot more fun when you have somebody to do it with you. But I have been a licensed realtor for 8 years, going on 9, and have been with EXP for almost 4 years, which best decision of my life. Cannot even, we don't have time for that today. I do not have a marketing background. My background is in stay-at-home mom. So that was definitely a lifestyle choice. Being a stay-at-home mom, living on a single income, posed many challenges. And I was the one to always figure out, what to do to be able to make ends meet, how to be able to have our kids in sports. As you know, sports are very expensive. So I was always the problem solver, trying to figure out how to get it done. And for me, it wasn't like, oh, look, we can't do this. It's like, I want to do this. How are we going to do it? So fast forward. We went to EXP Con last year for the first time. And, we thought about business cards. We knew we needed to take our business cards, But I just, I was looking at a pile of business cards. I had actually just cleaned off my desk and I had a stack of business cards and I loved them because I could go and look and see name with face and all that. But I thought, man, stack of business cards, they're a dime a dozen, easily crumpled, lost, thrown away, whatnot. So we decided to come up with an idea, we wanted something unique to Vegas. And so we came up with an idea to print our business card actually using a poker chip. And so this was kind of, it doesn't have all the information. I don't know if you can tell what it is there. That's just my name, phone number, real basic. Hindsight, should have had a QR code or something like that. But the backstory is I'd ordered these and the company that was making them got hit by the hurricane. So they were all under hurricane everything. So here we were just like a week before EXPCon and I had to find somebody. So I got a company out of New York to make these. And FYI, I wouldn't use that company because my card was hacked after that. But hey, I had my poker chips. And it's kind of funny because we actually have agents who say, I still have your poker chip still sitting on my desk. So for me, that was a way to always stay top of mind. It was fun. Julie and Lee sat down at our table at one of the breakout sessions. That's how we met, and I gave them a poker chip and things just happened from there. And that's how we met. I quickly realized that networking at these events was the whole reason to go to these events.
Yep.
Yes, the education, the information that you gain is fantastic, but you cannot put a price on the relationships that you make meeting other agents from around the world.
Absolutely.
I was so awe-inspired by, agents that were so far above where I thought I could ever be, and just their willingness to help me and to genuinely care about my business and helping me. So that really, really impressed me. The things that I learned from those agents, I mean, you can't get that reading a book, going to a webinar, meeting these people in person. You just can't put a price on that. So if anybody has not gone to an event where you can network with other agents, if you haven't been to EXPCon, man, you have got to go. First week of October. It is phenomenal for all you people in EXP. So, shareholder summit. Obviously, I wasn't going to take a poker chip because that didn't go. So we thought long and hard. What are we going to do? Actually, we didn't think all that long. Came up with it pretty quick. We thought, what can we do to give somebody a different type of business card? That's how we came up with the fake money. Has all my information. It's branded to EXP. Has my website, email on the back, QR code. The guys really loved this. The guys weren't all too crazy about the sparkly bag, but they really liked this. This has been something I have had a lot of fun with. People have asked, do you really give these to your clients? I mean, I literally just got these right before Summit. And I did give them to my clients. And their response was, oh my gosh, can I have like 20 more? I want to give them to all my friends. So they don't ask that of my business cards. But this was just novelty enough. They liked it. Of course, sometimes just for fun, I fold it up and accidentally drop it on the ground so that somebody finds my business card. Yeah, they'll probably go, oh man, it's fake.
That was literally something I was worried about, walking around with that $100 bill in my bag because this is see-through. And I was like, oh my God, somebody's going to steal the bag thinking that that's $100 bill in there.
We carried around our stacks. We carried them
I
around.
love it. That is awesome.
We carried them around like this, and it has the $10,000. Obviously, I switched it so I didn't show my picture, but we would be walking around with our stacks, and you couldn't see the QR code. And from a distance, they do look real. And people are like, "What the heck? You giving out money?" And I'm like, "Yeah, we are. You want one?" So it was a great.
I love that part about people sharing with their friends. Like, you always ask your past clients to refer you, but like, oh, passing on a business card, but that, they can just leave them out on their counter when their friends are over. It's so cool.
And
It's
this was not expensive. I think, oh man, for a stack of 10,000, it was like $24, but they have sales all the time. So
$24 for 1,000, that's it?
So it was great. You know,
Oh, wow.
I think I got like $100,000 worth because I was like, we put them in our money gun and we've done little videos with that.
Oh,
And
that's cute.
we're having
Yeah.
a lot of fun with it. But obviously I knew this wasn't enough. So one of the things we noticed about EXPCon, when I went, I wanted the swag that said, you know, EXPCon Vegas, something that commemorated that I was there, that other people who weren't there wouldn't have. And I was exceptionally disappointed by the brand store and the things they had. It was not stuff that I would want, that I would ever wear, that I would ever use. So when we were trying to think of, you know, what can we do to break the ice and get in touch with other agents, get them to stop and talk to us, we came up with the idea of a bag. And of course, anything sparkly, we're all in. So we were trying to figure out how to make it sparkly. And, you know, holographic is so in right now. And so that is how we came up with the holographic bag. You know, it does, I don't know if people could see on here, it does say provided by your Georgia referral partners. The light shines, sorry. We wanted it to be branded to Summit and EXP because I thought if there was something Holly Jeffery, who's going to want to carry that around? Nobody. But being branded to Summit and EXP, people would want that because it's showing, hey, they were at Summit and it's a cool bag and they could hold all their swag. But we also took it a step further. In order for them to actually get a bag, we asked them to follow us on Instagram. My Instagram is pathetic, just so you know. It's like teaching an old dog new tricks. I did not even start doing anything with my Instagram probably till about January, because it was at EXPCon. All the young professionals were giving me a really hard time saying, you got to step it up. You got to do something with Instagram. And I was just like, oh my gosh, how am I going to do this? But it's possible. So anyway, so we got followers on Instagram and we had this printed on the label. I'm Holly at Holly Sells GA and Eden is at Sold by Eden. So we had, you know, at first we were like talking individually, follow me, follow her. Then we were like, follow both of us. I have gained over 400 followers. And considering, you know, a lot of people that did come up to us did not have Instagram. A lot of them just did Facebook. So I had them follow me on Facebook. But this was a way, you know, when I met people at EXPCon, I had a really hard time. Like, you know, they would send me just their little blink card or whatever. And it was in my phone. And unless I knew who they were, I wasn't going to bring it back up. So I wanted a way that I could genuinely remember people and connect and interact. And so, you know, we went in, everybody should have, it was a little bit tricky just because the sheer amount of people that we were going back in, you know, I told them I would follow them back, which I did. It is amazing how many people we could not find on Instagram, you know, people that we had their names, we knew, and we tried looking them up on Instagram. There was nothing about them being a realtor, nothing about location. It was challenging. So it took some time, but we also sent a Google Doc, a Google sheet so that they could fill out all their information so that we can actually have a more specified, you know, where they're at, location, better way to contact other than just Instagram. So it really is about us building our referral network with other agents. It's been great because like within the EXP referral network, when somebody says, hey, looking for an agent in this area, if I know somebody, I'm going to give them a shout out, or I'm going to screenshot it and send it to them and say, hey, get on the referral network. I have even gone as far as reaching out to the original poster and calling them and saying, hey, I know this person in this area, and you cannot go wrong by having them as a referral partner for this area. So I take it a step further and look out for my referral partners because, again, that's building community with me. This year, since EXPCon, so far I've had 4 referrals.
Wow.
And I mean, I think that's pretty good. I mean, and this is just starting. I don't even know what's going to happen.
It's only been like 2 weeks.
Well, that was since EXPCon.
EXPCon
EXPCon.
in Vegas.
So
Yeah.
EXPCon, that's what made me realize we got to do something more for Summit. One of the things we also did, you can't just go and hold a bag, you know, because we did that at first. We were just kind of like, people are going to ask us. And people would look and they were kind of like, we could start to notice that people were looking at the bag. And so I'd say, did you get your bag? And they'd go, no, where'd you get it? And I'm like, right here, come on. And so one of the things that I would recommend, if you do something, you go to an event like Summit, be happy and energetic and open and welcoming. And don't be afraid to talk to people. If you really knew me outside of this arena, I'm very much an introvert. I mean, I'm that person that I will like, don't talk to me, don't talk to me, don't talk to me. And then somebody talks to me, it's like, oh crap, I got to talk to them. So it was very much out of my comfort zone, but growth is uncomfortable. So that was something, but Eden and I both, like, for instance, wore bright colors. We wore pink almost every day. She did wear pink every day, and that helped. People, would say, look for the girls in the pink. So they knew where we were. We very much positioned ourselves, main areas, main traffic areas where people could see us, where they could find us. It's kind of like, when you go to a garage sale, you drive by and there's nobody at a garage sale and you just automatically think, it's not a very good garage sale. But if you go by a garage sale and there are a ton of people, you're like, oh, stop the car. We got to go see what they have. It's kind of the same concept. It's like when we were standing there, if nobody was talking to us, people would keep walking by. Then, we started doing stuff to create motion. One of the things I did was like open the bags. They came in little plastic wrappers. So I would open the bag and then they came kind of deformed for shipping. So I was reshaping them, and just that motion and that movement would get people noticing. We would call them over, but it was really kind of funny because we noticed you get a couple people over, and then pretty soon you get a couple more people. Well, pretty soon, we had a group of 8 to 12 people around us. And then that's when everybody started coming over. So, there were a lot of lessons learned throughout the whole experience. But as far as, being able to connect with people, was this a perfectly well thought out thing? No, this was kind of a real quick, oh, hey, what are we going to take to Summit? Let's do this. Our main thought was, what is something we would want that we would carry around if somebody else was giving it out? Was it something useful? Was it something cool? The other thing was being able to genuinely connect with people. And for me, I mean, that was the most fun of the whole conference, because we met people from all over, and just hearing their life stories. We met Felicity from Australia. She was the only EXP agent from Australia that was there. She flew 26 hours. That's commitment. But it's like we met people from everywhere, and just hearing their stories. Post Summit, I have had agents call me and tell me what an impact on their life I had. And I'm thinking, it's just a bag, people, but it was more than a bag. Truly, I mean, there were people that were like, we've been trying to brand, but it kept coming back to bag, and it was such a negative, or this, that, or the other. And they're like, we look what you did with a bag and how people responded to it, and the positive everything. But to that, I will say, it's not about the thing that you're giving out. It's talking to people and being genuine and listening to their story and finding out, where people want to be wanted. People want to be heard. And, we all spent a whole lot of money to go to that conference. And so, for them to feel like they got something out of it. You did ask Nicole about the cost. I'm a very, 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 very good shopper. That comes from being a stay-at-home mom. Alibaba. If you don't order from Alibaba, you are spending way too much. You have to be very specific. You have to shop for a good supplier. There's a little bit of a learning curve. I've ordered a bunch of things through Alibaba. I've learned that you got to get shipping to your door when you get your quote. The bags themselves were not that expensive. The shipping was twice the amount of the bags. So the shipping is where you're going to make up the difference in price. You want to plan out ahead of time, because I was a little bit afraid we wouldn't get them when they were, that term slow boat from China, that's real. And so I was really, really, really afraid that we wouldn't get it in time. So I did have it air shipped. but it was worth my anxiety because I thought, what am I going to do with 600 bags that say Shareholder Summit 2023 if they don't get here? So I was a little bit worried about that. But that was my story about.
How many bags did you order? How many did you give out? What's left over?
Ordered 600, gave out probably 520. We kept some back because we knew that there would be people that would be like, oh, I didn't get a bag, so, and I have people on my team that I wanted to give a bag to. So we kept out probably about 25. So we gave, it was to the point I had some that I had been carrying around all day that they were kind of looking a little bit worse for the wear, and I was like, we were emptying our stuff out of our bags and giving them to people so they could have the end of them. Yeah.
That's awesome.
I can't wait to see what everyone shows up with now at EXPCon.
Right?
We've got something up our sleeve.
I gotta top the bags. Okay, so all in, what were you in for those 600 bags? I know you did the rush shipping at the end because you had to, but say you didn't have to, you planned ahead and used regular shipping and all the things. What would that have cost at that point?
The bags alone were about $1 each.
Okay. With the printing and everything all in $1?
Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah.
So that, and that's always kind of my benchmark, dollar, which brings me to my point, other marketing, dollar store is like real estate candy store for me. And, are things high quality? No. But when you are marketing yourself to people you don't know, people like anything of value. When I first got into real estate, we had just moved to Georgia. I had no friends, no family, no sphere, nothing. And, I call it the duh factor. I thought, I'll get my real estate license. Who wouldn't want to buy a house from me? So it's probably a really good thing I didn't know what I know now, because I would have gone, you're insane, Holly. And somehow it worked out for me. But one of the things that I had to do, we live in a very affluent area, and I was not. And so tons of agents in our area, they're a dime a dozen. So I knew I had to somehow stand out. And so that's always been my thing. How can I be different from everybody else? And so one of the things that I did, I met this man, older gentleman who, his career, he was selling stuff, and he wanted basically local restaurants in the area have their cups. And so I'm covering this because this was my old brokerage at the bottom. Let's hold on. Anyway, so I want to come up and it said, moving sucks, your realtor shouldn't. I okayed it with my broker. Everything was fine. This got a lot of feedback, but some of the restaurants wouldn't have it because they said it was vulgar. I guess that's what, I'm like, moving sucks. Moving does suck. There's nothing much worse than moving. And so I kind of wanted it as just like a ha 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 thing.
You could do stinks. How about stinks?
Well, regardless, it got my name out there, so then in the future, I went, and you can, like, it had the different, this is like 6 ads, but I wanted the whole entire cup because I had so many people take pictures of this and say, hey, look, I'm at Partners Pizza, and look, you're having dinner with me. I knew this was not something that was necessarily going to actually bring me buyers or sellers. Again, it was name recognition. And for me, that was something really, really important, because I knew that I had to create some sort of foundation. I had to start getting my name out there, and not having a sphere, not knowing anything about anybody or the area, I had to start somewhere. Something I also have done is print pens. Anytime I go to a restaurant, I always have my purse full of pens, and I am leaving my pens everywhere. In the past, I always did like your typical, picture, basically my business card on a pen. Those have been pretty boring. So of course, trying to find something different. These we made for Summit. And these, I don't know if you can see, at Holly Sells GA, and they light up. And so these are really fun because when you go out to eat and you leave your card, instead of leaving my card, I'm leaving this. I found that people aren't going to find my pen and pick it up and call and, oh, hey, you're a realtor. Great. I'm going to call you. But when they see this, most people are going to get on my Instagram and at least engage, either look, maybe follow. And so this is another way that I can hopefully engage, nurture, develop relationships. So this has been great. Again, Alibaba. These pens, if you go on like Custom Ink or any of those other sites, I've seen them anywhere from $150 to $278 a pen. And of course, you have to order like 9 million of them. Alibaba, these were 30 cents each. So 30 cents, 3 for $1. That's a really, really cheap marketing tool. And I just this weekend actually was at a graduation party. And the mom came up to me and was like, I forgot pens. Do you have any pens? And I'm like, yeah, but they're my real estate pens. She's like, I don't care. I just need pens on every table. And so we left our pens. Eden and I were both there. And so between the two of us, we had enough pens in our purses to come up, and we just left them on the tables. And it's funny because with this pen, most people think to click a pen, you're going to click it. Well, when they click it, that's when it turned on the light. And so people were sitting there looking at our handle for Instagram. But yeah, so that was kind of an unexpected thing, but we leave our pens everywhere. Anytime I go to a restaurant, I, sign my credit card, whatever, I leave the pen. Anytime there's a place that has pens, I leave pens everywhere, because my goal is when I go back out to a restaurant, or I want to see somebody walking around with one of my pens. Again, just something cheap and effective to get your name out there.
Holly, can we go back to the dollar bills real quick?
Yeah.
The $100 bills. Maybe I missed it, but I know someone had asked what the source was, where you got those $100 bills from.
There's a million different places online that you can get them, but we ordered them through Prop Money.
Say that again?
Prop, P-R-O-P. I've
Prop
got
Money?
clients. Yeah, we live
Okay.
like a mile from Trillis Studios, and that's where they film all the Avengers movies.
Oh,
Yeah, Ant-Man, that stuff. So I have many, many clients that are in the movie industry, and we were talking about stuff, and they were talking about Prop Money. And then, of course, when we were at EXPCon or in Vegas, one of the times we were there this year, we had gone to a show, and I think it was Bruno. But anyway, I was like, Eden, oh my gosh, there's money under your seat. Quick, grab it. Well, it was Usher money, because, Usher at his show, I guess this is his confetti. And so we were looking at that. So that was kind of what made us think about this. It made us stop and pick it up. We picked it up and looked at it. And of course, we kept it because it was cool. It looked so real. But they have, you can have it look like real money. You can have it branded to your colors. There's a million different things you can do. And they were really, really easy to work with. I may be able to get a link for a discount. I'll find out. And if I do, I'll let you know, Lee or Nicole, either one of you, or Julie, I'll let you know, but I should be able to have a link for a discount, because I think a lot of people are starting to contact them. But this was just fun. This was just different. I'm just so tired. A lot of agents aren't having business cards anymore. I still think it's important to have something physical that you can touch.
Do they have anything
agree.
like this at the place where you buy pens? I've only been able to find one supplier, and I get requests for
back
these.
scratcher?
If you
Yeah, it's a telescoping back scratcher.
oh yeah.
Women
yeah.
really like them because it gets that spot on your back.
Yeah, if you
That's your
can
husband's
think
job.
it, if you can think it, they have it. And what's so cool is if you come up with an idea and you have enough time, they can make something for you that fits your specifications. So, think about it. All the good junk is made in China. And, people say, I'll buy American made. Well, these American companies are buying these supplies from China and reselling them. So they're just charging you more. At the end of the day, I have to look out for me. And if I can get my supplies for a fraction of the cost, I'm going to do it, because
Yeah, I've looked everywhere for those, and I can only find them in one spot, and I hate that company, but I get requests for them, so I have to buy them.
yeah. So check it out. And you might want to look through AliExpress. They might have them just, if you don't need them customized, because most things I look on there, I'll enter like customizable bag or customizable pens. And that will bring up the ones that you can, most everything can be customized, which, like I said, it's a learning curve. You have to be very, very, very specific. You want to make sure that you have trade assurance and a verified supplier, because just like any other country, there's going to be shady suppliers. So you want to make sure that you get somebody that has good reviews, that is easy to work with. They're 12 hours ahead of us. So most of my work I did between 1 and 3 a.m. I mean, there were many nights I was like messaging them back at 3 a.m. going, I am so tired, but if I wait another day, it's just going to put me that much further behind. So, you have to put in the work, but we were very, very, very happy. We got the tracking was spot on. We got it exactly when they said we'd get it. The most frustrating part was seeing that was here in the US sitting in customs, and I was just chomping at the bit to see those bags. I mean, we were dying because we were like, oh, what are they going to look like? We thought they were going to be cool, but we weren't sure. But it was a whole lot of fun when we got them.
So Holly, I went on Alibaba and all those sites before to look for things like customizable, like Yeti cups, but not Yeti brand. And you get you put in what you're looking for and you start searching, and all of a sudden you are bombarded with emails, WhatsApp messages, WhatsApp calls. Everybody is contacting you. And I mean, it eventually dies down,
right?
But just something to keep in mind, or is there do you have any tips or tricks to get
absolutely
rid of that? Or
yeah, absolutely.
What do you do?
Only communicate with the suppliers through their website, and it states right on there. So anybody that would reach out to me via email, I'm not doing it. And I think the main thing was the responsiveness, because I would find the companies that would have them, and I knew something to note. Oftentimes they'll have a price that you think you're going to get it for. Like originally, I think it was like 43 cents for the bag. And I was like, yes, this is great. Well, then you've got your printing, and then you've got, your handles, and what do you want the materials? Do you want those printing? So all the little added extra expenses. So basically, just have a really good idea. Ours kind of evolved a little bit from talking to the gal that helped us, but we were very, very specific, what material I wanted, what color I wanted, the size, what kind of handle I had. I sent them the PDF was it PDF? Anyway, they'll tell you what form to send your design, and they'll do mock-ups right then when you're talking to them. And the companies that will do the mock-ups that get to you, respond in real time, those are the ones that I would recommend. Because I had one supplier actually that originally I thought I was going to go with, and this dude started being so pushy and so rude, and I had questions still, and I knew enough from past experience from ordering that I needed to make sure we were all crystal clear on what I wanted. And, he kept saying, okay, well, I'm going to send you the invoice and you pay. And it's like, no, I'm not paying anything, buddy, because we're not on the same page. And then, I was probably communicating with about 5 or 6 different suppliers at the same time and getting quotes. I negotiated, the original price. I was like, I'm sorry, I have another supplier that can do it for less money. And they're like, well, we want to earn your business. What can we do? And so it was highly competitive. I did not specify how I wanted it packaged. I mean, I was kind of surprised. They came, I got one right here. This is how they came. They came in, each one was in bags, which was great because I think they would have stuck together like pool toys, but it made it much easier for distributing. Basically, keep in mind, when they package stuff and make stuff and send it to you, they are doing it oftentimes for businesses for resale. So that anything you can think of, they can do it. It's really kind of, you are only limited by your imagination. And that's what makes it so fun, because there are times I'll get on Alibaba and it's like, okay, what can I do now? And I'm really, 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 really excited for EXPCon. Let's just say that.
Oh man, I can't wait to see what you got up your sleeve for that one.
Yeah, we're really excited.
So Holly, I know the pen idea is great. I love the cups, your marketing, you're getting your name out there. But do you also, do like pop buys or things for
Yep.
past clients and that kind of stuff? I'd like to hear more about that as well.
I'm glad you asked. So, cheesy things. People love cheesy things. Again, dollar store, $1.25 store, I should say now. But, I'm so glad you chose me as your realtor. Or like at open houses. My open houses, I always promote them. Obviously, most people see our open houses through Zillow. Hate it all we want, but that's where they're seeing it. And I'll put door prizes. And so people, if there are a bunch of open houses, they're going to make sure they come to mine because they're getting a door prize. Dollar store, you get this for $1.25. I attach a little thing on here. It says, you're going to flip over this house. So it's always some cheesy little thing related to what I'm doing. This has been by far, these used to be a little bit nicer. Pre-COVID, they were nicer. They're a little bit cheapy now, but people still love them. I mean, you can use them. I bought one for us, but they come in to think that they're going to have a normal open house experience, and they realize my open houses are very, very, very different because, they're going to walk away. I've done this during, the market is heating up. We do something like this. All this stuff I bought at the dollar store. So something different. And it's like, if you went to an open house, sometimes I'll have a variety of things and people get to choose. And it's $1. I mean, and people would think that you are giving them the world. I have gotten listings from open houses because they said, we have never seen anybody do an open house like you. This is just so different. And that's what I was going for. I want to be different. Back to talking about on a small budget at the dollar store, you can get 2 fly swatters, the $1.25. So what, $62.50 each? 62 cents, 62.5 cents, not 62.50. But anyway, I've done things like, don't let the market fly by. Now's the best time to sell your home. And so this is half the price of any other normal marketing. One of my very, very, very favorite things from the dollar store. Let me show you. Signs. They have seasonal signs. So basically what I do, Christmas time, holidays are especially great. I will go in and I will get signs. I will glue my business card, probably not the dollar one, probably my old card, but I glue it on the back. And I have gone out and about with a bunch of different signs in my bag, and just as a conversation starter, people in the community. It's amazing when you start pulling stuff out. I will say to people, what do you think of this? I'm giving this to my clients. Is this dumb? Would they like it? And people will say, oh my gosh, I love that. That's so cute. I would love that. And I'm like, would you like one? And they're like, are you serious? And I'm like, sure. Say, I'd love to stay in touch with you. I'm a local realtor. I just do fun things for my clients. This is when you just talk about less about real estate, more about having fun and what you offer to your clients. And this is a great way to get contact names, numbers. You start making relationships within the community. I sponsor local events, like I sponsor the candy cane hunt for Parks and Rec. Okay, it's an event where people are bringing kids to see Santa. That's not really something that you would typically think that I'm marketing myself. I buy all the candy canes, so they have a shoestring budget, so that helps them. They give me a table. I order a huge box of stuff from like Oriental Express, or, this year I did a huge box. I get all the holiday signs. So parents, if they want to come up, sign up to be put on my newsletter. Once they sign up, they get a sign. The kids, The kids are just there to have fun. So, I had literally, we had this box of huge, it was really, really cool plasticky junk, but fun stuff. I mean, we were playing with it. It was really fun stuff. There was like gliders and the wicky wacky things that you throw against the wall and they crawl down. There were tops, there were little note cards, there were pins. There was all kinds of really fun stuff. And like the kids would come up and the parents would say, okay, take one. And I'm like, okay, I need you to be honest with me. If I asked you, how good have you been this year? I mean, it was so cute because some of the kids would say, a scale of 1 to 10, probably about a 7. And it would just crack me up, the honesty with these kids. And I was like, you know what? Because you have been so honest, pick out 10 things. And the kids would just go insane. They were like, are you serious? Because we made it fun and memorable for the kids, the parents love that too. So it was my way to connect with the parents through their kids. So that was just a fun little thing too.
That's such a cute idea. What other things? Okay, so one, my biggest hold up here, when you said you just like have these things in a bag and you talk to people, where are you talking to people? Like, where are you?
Oh my gosh, TJ Maxx, Marshalls, grocery store. Literally, I have taken my bag of things and gone to the grocery store. I'll start talking to people. And I mean, it's the weirdest thing at first because it's totally random. Well, okay, if I go to TJ Maxx, I'll go and I might pull out like this, because right now everything beach theme is kind of, what's out there. And I'll pretend like I'm trying to find something that matches or something that goes with this. And if you pull something out and you're looking, people are more into your business than you realize. People want to know what you're thinking. People want to know what you're doing. And I've had people walk by and they'll kind of be looking and I'll just ask them, I'm like, hey, what do you think? Does this go with that? Anything I can do to start a random conversation. It doesn't make sense, but it does, because it's not about the item. It's about the icebreaker. You are just finding out a reason to start a conversation. And especially post-COVID, I mean, man, people are lonely. People have missed that interaction. And even still, a lot of people, I don't know about y'all, but our area, we still see people like, walking down the road by themselves wearing a mask. And I'm like, what? And we were not an area that was, Georgia was great. We really weren't shut down. And I worked the whole time. I didn't miss a beat during COVID. So it was very, very different. But people are still afraid and people have just cut themselves off from the world. So it's really amazing how they are still longing for that interaction. And people are like, I've met so many people that say, I'm new to the area. I haven't met anybody. It's so nice to meet you. One of the things I want to show you real quick. Hold on. When you see somebody has moved to the area, most people obviously have their agents, but once they close on a property, you can still be the welcome wagon, so something like this, just a little bit welcome, especially now, we had Memorial Day, 4th of July is coming up. You can get just a few little things to welcome them to the neighborhood. And it doesn't have to be about selling yourself, but you can give them, here's some community ideas. Here's some things that are going on. If there's anything you want to know about the neighborhood, give me a call. Happy to help out. We're so glad you're here. Again, it's just that unexpected something. You don't have to buy things either. You could print something, just print something that has community events, something that was helpful to you before you moved to the area, or something that somebody wouldn't know that didn't live in the area. It's just getting out of your comfort zone and meeting people and starting those conversations.
Such great ideas. Oh my gosh. You got my mind reeling. Now I'm like, man, how am I going to go up against Holly at EXPCon?
Bring it. Come on. But even like, okay, beans, like 5 for $1 at the dollar store, beans, lettuce, forget-me-nots. You can mail forget-me-nots to your past clients for pop buys. Open houses. Have you been looking for a house? Cheesy? Yes. Effective? Yes. Let us help you find a home. There are 1,000,003 things you can do. Even get on Pinterest. Pinterest has great ideas, but for me, I will literally go to the dollar store and just walk through and just get ideas. Watch after the holidays, Halloween, I always go to the farmer's market and get a big like pallet full of pumpkins. And I do those as pop buys. People love it. It takes me a little bit longer because I tend to stay and talk to my clients. A lot of people say, oh, have somebody else deliver for you. For me, that's my FaceTime with my past clients. And that the last time I did that, I got 5 transactions out of it that I probably wouldn't have had because we just started talking about family, friends, neighbors. And it was just those conversations. You know, one of my clients was like, you know, I'm kind of thinking about moving. Who knows? If I hadn't done that, hadn't gone in, who's to say, you know, yes, you want to believe that they're very, very loyal to you. But if you're not at the right place at the right time, constantly top of mind, it could have a different outcome. But after the holidays, I always watch, like they have the pumpkin carving kits. You can get those like grocery stores for 10 cents, you know, every year. I stock up on those. So when I deliver pumpkins, you know, the ones with kids, I will give the carving kit to also. And to them, they think, oh, they're like, oh, wow, these are like $4. This is a big deal. It's not, it was 10 cents. So just try to be creative. There's something for everybody's budget. And like I said, it's not about the item. It's about the conversation that you're having with the person.
Yeah, I think it's so smart. I mean, I know one of the girls on our team, she has like a box that she keeps in her trunk of stuff. She'll go to like Five Below, or like after holidays, she'll stock up on stuff, and she just puts stuff, or goes to the dollar store or Michael's clearance section or something. And she'll just put all kinds of stuff in her trunk. And then as if she's showing houses and she drives by one of her clients' houses, she'll pop by, set it on the front step with her business card, like just not, you know, for no reason, just a little, hey, I was in the neighborhood type of thing. And then text them like, hey, I left you a little something. Just super cute ideas. But for sure, the dollar store is like a great place to go. And if you get there like beginning of the season and you can get some of the good stuff, like I've been there in the spring and they have like shovels and pots and gardening gloves, and you could put together like a little thing for like $3, $4, well, $5 now, probably.
Yeah, right.
The way it's gone. But same thing. I mean, I bought seeds from the dollar store before, and you like you said, 5 for $1. I had bought them at Target first, and they were like $1.70 a piece. And I returned all of them and used the one from the dollar store. So, but the Alibaba stuff, that's great. These bags were so cute. I was so impressed. I mean, you know, because I knew who you were like after I finally realized who was giving these bags out, they were everywhere. Like people were not carrying around the EXP bags. They were carrying around your bag with the EXP bag inside because yours was just so much cuter. So good job on that. Awesome ideas. Does anybody have any questions before we kind of wrap things up today for Holly? Anybody? This was awesome. Thank you so much for doing this. I'm super excited to see what you come up with for EXPCon. It's going to be awesome. So thank you so much. And you will be on next week again with another Modern Agent Blueprint next Tuesday at 11. Join us. Who do we have? I don't even remember who we have.
No, I don't think we have anyone scheduled yet. So we need to get
we'll
busy
be on
finding.
that. Yeah, we'll be on that. I'm excited. All right, guys, we will see you next Tuesday at 11 for our next Modern Agent Blueprint. Thank you so much, Holly. Can't wait. I cannot wait to hear. Keep us updated. If you get a bunch of referrals from this, I want to know all about it. So keep us updated.
Definitely. Thanks for having me.
Bye,
Thanks,
everybody.
Holly. You're awesome.
Bye,
We
everybody.
appreciate you.
Thanks, Lee. Bye.
Bye.